The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, a soundtrack to the horror unfolding on the screen. Every receipt, every email, every DNA result screamed betrayal. For 10 years, my life had been a lie, meticulously constructed by the woman I'd vowed to love forever. Sarah, my wife, had woven a tapestry of deceit, and Victor Rossi, the man I'd called a friend, was her co-conspirator. But betrayal, like acid, burns away the veneer, leaving raw, unyielding resolve. I wasn't just going to expose them, I was going to make them pay. But before we get to the reckoning, tell me, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. And hey, if you dig this story, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next chapter. Garlic and basil hung heavy in the air of the Hardings' Upper West Side kitchen, usually a haven of laughter and family chaos. Today, a thick tension choked the warmth, a silent predator lurking just beyond the sunlight streaming through the bay window. 4 pristine DNA kits sat like alien artifacts on the granite countertop, their sterile packaging a stark contrast to the well-worn heart of the home. Robert Harding, a man who prided himself on order and control, stood near the island, his hands steady but a tremor in his gaze betraying the storm brewing beneath the surface. "Everyone, please," Robert's voice, usually calm authority, was edged with something sharper. "This won't take long." Michael, his 10-year-old son, shuffled in, thumbs still flying across his Nintendo Switch screen. He plopped onto a kitchen stool, eyes glued to the digital world. "Is this for that science thing, Dad?" Robert nodded curtly. "Yeah, buddy. Genetic study. Could tell us about our health. Maybe even, ancestors." "Ancestors!" Sophia, his 12-year-old, burst into the room, a whirlwind of auburn curls and infectious energy. "Like, are we descended from royalty?" Sarah, Robert's wife, entered last, movements slow, deliberate. She carried a glass of water, her dark eyes sharp, probing as they landed on the kits. "I still don't get why we're doing this. We're perfectly healthy." Robert gestured to the kits with a tight smile. "Lifetime health monitoring as compensation. Worth it, right? Plus, good to know what's in our genes." Michael glanced up, momentarily distracted. "What's in our genes? Like dirt?" Sophia snorted. Even Sarah managed a reluctant smile. But Robert didn't join in. His gaze lingered on his children, cataloging details he'd either missed or ignored for too long. Michael's olive skin, Sophia's almond-shaped eyes, those curls so unlike his own pale complexion and straight brown hair. Scottish, German lineage, that was him. "Don't you think that's fascinating?" Robert asked, almost to himself. Sarah's smile vanished. "Robert, is there something you're not telling me?" He hesitated, a fraction of a second too long. "No, of course not, just curious. And the data might even be useful for my research." Robert ripped open the first kit, launching into a practiced explanation of the swabbing process. But his mind was miles away, lost in a labyrinth of suspicion that had been quietly growing for years, now pressing against the carefully constructed walls of his life. Swab, seal, label. 10 minutes, kits packed, ready for the lab. Michael and Sophia scattered. Michael back to his digital battles, Sophia humming in her room. Sarah lingered, hands flat on the granite, eyes fixed on Robert. "You're obsessing again," she said softly. "I know that look." Robert forced a laugh. "Just being thorough, you know me." She leaned closer, voice dropping. "Sometimes I wonder if your obsession with precision blinds you to what's right in front of you." The word stung. Though Robert wouldn't admit it, Sarah's intuition had always been unnervingly sharp. But not this time. He couldn't afford her insight. "Let's just wait for the results," he said, brushing her comment aside. "I'm sure it'll be interesting." As Sarah left, Robert stared at the kits. Unspoken questions buzzed in his mind, formless fears swirling in the pit of his stomach. Was this just curiosity, as he'd claimed, or something more? A desperate need to silence the doubts that had been growing louder, more insistent with each passing year? He didn't know. But the truth, whatever it was already on its way. The sterile hum of the lab was a strange comfort. Rows of test tubes, machines calibrated to exacting standards. Logic, predictability. Science didn't lie. It simply revealed. Or so he told himself, processing his family's DNA samples late that night. He keyed in the final sequence for the last sample, fingers trembling slightly as he hit enter. The centrifuge whirred to life, rhythmic spin filling the air as data compiled. Robert's eyes darted to the screen, anticipation warring with dread. Results flashed faster than expected. He scanned with clinical detachment at first, marker by marker, allele by allele. But as the data filled the screen, the lines twisted into something incomprehensible. His breath hitched. Robert leaned closer, narrowing his eyes at the glaring anomaly. No match. Marco and Sophia shared none of his genetic markers, not one. Instead, the report screamed Italian heritage, a brutal contradiction to his own Scottish German lineage. His hand hovered over the mouse, unwilling to click to the next page, as if delay could somehow rewrite reality. How? The question hammered in his mind. Lab error? No. Automated process, error-proof. Contamination? Impossible. He'd handled samples himself meticulously. Then, like a dam breaking, memories surged. Small things, dismissed at the time. Sarah, working late at the office, laughing too loudly at something Victor Rossi, her annoyingly charming Italian boss, had said. Inside jokes Robert never understood. Late-night texts brushed off as work emergencies. He could almost hear her voice, light, casual. Victor's a perfectionist, you know how he is. If I don't stay late, the whole project falls apart. Robert had believed her, or wanted to. They were happy, weren't they? Sarah attentive, kind, the kind of woman who could light up a room with a smile. Why would she betray him? And yet, here was the evidence. Cold, hard, undeniable. Michael's olive skin, Sophia's auburn curls, traits now mocking him with their obviousness. Had he been blind? Or simply chosen to look away? He sank into his chair, realization crushing him. Centrifuge silent now. Lab eerily quiet, save for the hum of the lights. Robert stared at the screen. Damning words blurred. She wouldn't. But even as the thought formed, it felt hollow. Sarah, who'd built a life with him, raised their children with him. Their children. The word twisted in his gut. Were they truly his? Results said otherwise. Anger surged, a searing flame threatening to consume disbelief. He clenched fists, nails biting palms. Victor Rossi's face surfaced. Victor, perfect suits, charming smile, always lingering too long with Sarah. How long? How long had she deceived him? How long had he been raising children who might not be his? He closed the results, logged out. Mechanical movements. Gathered printed reports. Slipped them into his bag, careful not to crumple incriminating pages. Hands shook, locking the lab door. Cold metal key biting into his palm. Drive home a blur. City lights streaked past windows, brilliance dulled by the storm brewing in his mind. Grip tightened on the wheel. Replayed every interaction, every glance, every moment Sarah spent with Victor. Every detail now sinister. Pulled into driveway. House loomed, windows glowing warmly. Inside, Sarah waiting. Curled with a book, tea, domestic bliss. Cruel facade. Robert sat in the car, engine ticking softly. Reports radiated heat, daring him to confront truth. How could he walk into that house, that life, pretend? Front door opened. Sarah silhouetted in hallway light, soft, welcoming. "You're late," she said, gentle teasing. Robert swallowed, throat dry, forced smile. "Yeah," whisper. "Long day." She turned back inside, figure framed in living room glow. Robert lingered on threshold, watched her, mind swirling, questions, accusations, one unrelenting thought. I need to know the truth, but not tonight. Tonight, bury the storm, if only for a little longer, because the confrontation, when it came, would be war. Morning after results, Robert sat in his downtown office, staring blankly at the framed family photo. Sarah's radiant smile beamed back. Comfort once. Deception now. Jaw clenched, fist tightened. Proof. Suspicions weren't enough. Undeniable, concrete proof. Noose tightening. Then he remembered Karen Miller. No-nonsense private investigator. Corporate fraud case years ago. Relentless, methodical, discreet. Exactly what he needed. Dialed her number. Days later, Karen sat opposite Robert. Tall, sharp eyes missed nothing. Manila folder on desk, slid it toward him. "Been busy?" clipped professional. "You're not going to like what I found." Robert's throat tightened. Opened folder. Neatly organized documents. Nails in marriage coffin. "Start with these." Karen tapped hotel receipts. Victor Rossi's name, 13 years, regular bookings every few weeks, different cities, same pattern, one night, sometimes two. Robert stared. 13 years, echoed in his head, harder to breathe. Hands trembled, flipped to next section. Then this, Karen produced credit card statements. Your wife private phone you don't know about, monthly payments, her office card. Robert's vision blurred, statements swam. Sarah calmly hiding phone, crafting second life while sharing his bed. Finally, Karen leaned back. Emails, printed copies. Myra and Victor. Robert's eyes darted over words. Casual intimacy. Stark contrast to formality with him. Can't wait till this is over. Hate sneaking around, but worth it for you. Someday we'll have the life we deserve. Final email 2 weeks prior. Short, devastating. Need to talk next step. Papers scattered. Desk. Chest heaved. Betrayal. Evidence painted stranger. Life unraveling. Karen watched. Unreadable. Long pause. More if you want it. Enough to confirm. Robert didn't respond. Stared at papers. Past 13 years agonizing new lens. Finally looked up. Hollow voice. 13 years, how long? Karen nodded. Looks like it. Sorry, Robert. Bitter laugh. Shook head. Funny. Career-solving puzzles, finding patterns. Missed biggest one in my own life. Karen leaned forward. Steady gaze. What now? Robert's jaw tightened, gathered papers, weapons. Confront her. Not yet. Lied for this long. Feel what I feel. See truth shattered, piece by piece. Karen regarded him, noted. Whatever you decide. Be careful. Messy. Grim smile. Already is. That night, Robert sat alone, darkened living room. Manila folder hidden under couch cushion. Sarah upstairs, tucking kids. Her voice drifted down. Woman he loved, trusted, built life with. Stranger now. Leaned back. Closed eyes. Weight of plans settling. Not just betrayal, justice. Reclaiming life. When time came, Sarah would understand. Extent of her actions. Week later, Robert delved deeper. Tangled web of deceit. Each discovery, another betrayal. Cutting deeper. Late one evening, financial records. Patterns, unexplained transactions. Friend Phil's business. Modest amounts, consistent, decade. Sinking feeling. Why Phil? Confronted Phil next day. Coffee shop. Once welcoming, now tainted. Phil, Robert, sharp, direct, honest, covering for Sarah. Phil's face drained. Easy smile faltered. What, talking about? Don't play dumb. Payments from Sarah to you. Consulting fees. Unrelated. Icy tone. Phil's shoulders slumped. Guilt. Look, man, didn't want involved. She begged, said discreet. You wouldn't worry late nights. Discreet? Robert spat. You mean arranging alibis for her and Victor? Phil couldn't meet gaze. I didn't know like that. Figured it out. Too deep. Didn't know how to tell you. Robert's fists clenched. Didn't tell me because protecting her. Protecting them. Some friend. Later, living room. Sophia bounced in, excited. Dad, Uncle Victor says I'm natural tennis talent, just like him. Taught me new serve. Robert's stomach twisted. Uncle Victor? Hollow voice. Sophia, oblivious. He's so good, says I could go pro. Robert smiled tightly. Turmoil inside. Planning futures like I don't exist. His role erased. Man had no right. Sophia skipped away. Robert leaned back. Ceiling. Deception wasn't past. Future. Victor and Sarah building one. Robert had no place. Boardroom, glass and steel fortress high above city. Hum of conversation. Executives filing in. Victor Rossi, head of table. Tailored suit, charisma. Commanded room. Robert entered last, subdued. Black briefcase, unreadable face. Weight of what he'd do. Precision. Scientist, high-stakes experiment. Conversation tapered. Meeting called to order. First, restructuring healthcare plans, Victor, smooth voice. Before that, Robert interrupted, scalpel voice. Something more pressing. Heads turned. Victor's confident smile wavered. Unease. Robert placed briefcase, unlocked deliberately. Stack of documents. Let's talk genetics, measured tone. Specifically, Italian hereditary traits. Victor stiffened. Not time or place. Oh, but it is. Robert, rising voice. Genetics, fascinating. Fingerprints, unique, undeniable. Ran genetic test family, discovered something extraordinary. Silence. Faint city buzz. Victor shifted, composure slipping. You can't prove... Sit down, Victor. Coldly. Not finished. Held up report. Bold headers visible. Here's what I found. Children share no genetic markers with me. None. But significant amount with one man. Guess who? Victor opened mouth. No sound. Robert pressed on. Relentless. Doesn't stop there. Hotel receipts, credit card statements, emails, years of evidence. You, my wife, financial fraud, misappropriated funds, extracurricular activities, company accounts. Gasps rippled. Victor's face ashen, facade crumbling. Let me make this simple. Robert, calm, deadly. Betrayed me personally, compromised firm. Every piece of evidence forwarded to board, legal counsel. Days here over. Victor stood abruptly, chair screeching. You're bluffing! Robert's lips curled. Try me. Board member cleared throat. Mr. Rossi, best if you step outside. Victor's defiance faltered, glanced around. Admiration replaced by judgment, disgust. Sharp breath, stormed out. Footsteps echoed. Robert gathered documents. Adrenaline subsiding. Fallout. Reckoning. 13 years of lies. Shattered. Tension palpable. Heavy air. Aftermath of bombshell. Chairs creaked. Whispers rippled. Robert composed. Meticulously adjusted slides. Each piece of evidence. Shard of truth. Glass door swung open. Silence. Sarah stepped in. Confusion. Alarm. Clutched purse. Hesitant steps. Scanned room. Locked eyes with Robert. What's going on? Wavering voice. Robert turned to screen. Laser pointer damning email exchange. One day life we deserve together, hung in air. Discussing your 13-year performance as my wife. Robert, cold, cutting tone. Turned to face her. Unreadable. Sarah's eyes darted screen stunned faces. Composure faltered. Robert, please, can we talk privately? Privately? Sarcasm dripped. Afraid we're past that, Sarah. Choices in shadows for decade. Truth, light, witnesses. Deathly silent room, pen clicking nervously. Sarah shaky step forward, softening voice, appeal. Robert, this isn't what you think. Stop! Robert, whip-crack voice, gestured to woman on his left. Poised, stern figure. Nell Stewart, my attorney. Precise, deliberate words. Ensure everything handled properly. Nell stood, crisp envelope, slid across table to Sarah. Divorce papers firm, devoid of malice. Read carefully. Sarah froze. Trembling hands, reached for envelope. You can't be serious, whispered voice. Robert, think of kids. I am, Robert, sharply cutting off. That's why I'm doing this. Michael and Sophia deserve better than lies you've wrapped them in. Children, shattered Sarah's composure. Tears welled. Stepped toward Robert. Breaking voice. I never meant to hurt you. Bitter laugh. Shook head. Didn't you? From where I'm standing, practicing betrayal for years. Turned to board members. Finality. Think we've covered everything. Personal life, not up for debate. Mr. Rossi's actions are. Legal consequences for firm. Board members nodded. Some avoided Sarah's gaze. Sarah's tears fell freely now. Robert didn't glance at her. Gathered papers. Strode out. Nell followed. Sarah's voice echoed faintly as doors closed. Robert didn't stop. Done looking back. Fallout swift, far-reaching, stone dropped in still pond. Ripples disrupted everything. Victor Rossi forced early retirement, stripped of position. Disgrace, firm, no benefits, severance, vanished from public eye, shadow of former self. Sarah's consequences equally devastating. Long-term affair, misuse of resources, public ethics investigation, legal community once source of pride cold, law license revoked. Name cautionary tale, Sarah's life crumbled. Greatest cost, personal. Friends enabled, turned blind eye. Phil, Robert's former confidant. Social, professional ostracization. Invitations dried. Handshakes avoided. Buzzy lives silent. Collective judgment. Harding household. Battleground. Fractured trust. Raw emotions. Robert shielded Michael and Sophia. Truth seeped in. One evening, Michael, couch, Nintendo forgotten, clouded face. Dad, quietly. Uncle Victor used us, didn't he? Everything plan. Robert froze. Protect son, honesty. Knelt, met Michael's gaze. He did, buddy, not your fault. None of this your fault. Michael nodded slowly, lip quivering. Thought he liked us, cared. Pretended, Robert, steady sorrow. People who care don't use others. Sophia stood silently. Absent spark. Maturity too soon. Step forward. Clenched fists. You said, loved us. Trembling anger. All you cared about yourself. Robert startled. Sophia! Not you, snapped. Her, Mom. Words hit. Robert reached out. She stepped back. Storm of emotions. Didn't just lie to you. Lied to us too. Made us think, okay. Robert's chest tightened. Your mom made mistakes, but she does love you. Then why? Sophia, breaking voice. Why wasn't it enough just to be with us? No answer, no explanation. Robert held children close. Promised to rebuild. Sarah, small apartment, other side of town. Reached out repeatedly. Mend relationship. Michael. Sophia guarded. Fractured trust. Each visit, trial. Children's questions, piercing apologies. Robert threw himself into work, fatherhood. Enrolled Michael, Sophia therapy. Help process anger, pain. Slowly, house less battlefield, more refuge. Moments of connection. Park afternoon, movie night. Reminded him what mattered. Scars lingered. Quiet reminder. Storm weathered. Michael's laughter. Cautious edge. Sophia, trusting, open, now fiercely protective, wary of adults. One evening, tucking Michael in. Searching eyes. Are we going to be okay, Dad? Robert smiled softly. Brushed hair from forehead. More than okay. Stronger. Promise. Michael nodded. Small hand reached out. Held Robert's. I believe you. Quiet moment. Glimmer of hope. Find peace. Painful miles back. Courtroom hushed. Shuffle of papers. Cough from gallery. Robert. Plaintiff's table. Hands folded tightly. Sarah, other side. Attorney. Slumped posture, pale face. Proceedings grueling. Lives laid bare. Verdict. Robert's breath caught. Judge's voice firm. Final. Custody of Michael and Sophia Harding awarded solely to Mr. Robert Harding. Miss Sarah Harding, supervised visitation rights further review. Robert exhaled. Uncertainty lifted. Turned to attorney. Nod of reassurance. No triumph. Bittersweet responsibility. Home. Sophia. Michael, quiet relief. Distant from mother. Interactions stilted. Sarah's explanations deepened hurt. Children drew firm line. Phil reached out. Rebuild rapport. Calls unanswered. One afternoon, Sophia found Robert, kitchen, fixing dinner. Hesitated. Dad, we're staying with you forever, right? Robert put down knife, turned, gentle, serious. That's the plan, sweetheart. Long as you want to be here, this is your home. She nodded, lip quivering. Don't want to see Uncle Victor ever again. Lied to us. Lied to you. Michael, table, toy. Me neither. Not family. Never was. Robert knelt, hugged them. Steady voice, thick emotion. You're right. Not family. But we are. Promise. From now on, just us. No lies, no secrets. You deserve better. Truth. Not lies. Held children close. Quiet determination. Path ahead. Not easy, but clear. Lost so much, but had each other. Only foundation needed. Rebuild lives. Sun song for her. Dream faded through crypt of time, yet not disappeared. Years later, Harding family cozy living room. Warmth, resilience, framed photos, family trips, celebrations, life rebuilt. Robert, armchair, heart-swelling pride. Sophia flipped genetics textbook. Dad looked up, thoughtful. DNA, not just who we are, reveals truths we hide. Robert smiled, affection. And you'll be excellent uncovering those truths, sweetheart. Cheeks flushed. Think so too. Grin. Auburn curls bounced. Genetics, passion. Make sense of world, hidden complexities. Michael, dining table, laptop open, screen glow. Finished algorithm, Dad, called out. Detect irregularities, financial transactions. Outdone myself. Robert chuckled. Determination in son's voice. Computer science, grown from betrayal. Help others see through lies. Detecting financial deception, Robert mused, light tone, pride. You're going to change the world, son. Michael glanced up, smirked. One corrupt fraudster at a time. Laughter filled room. Robert's gaze lingered. Scars, part of deeper story. Resilience, growth, unshakable truth. Leaned back. Exhaled. Pain of betrayal. Storm. Rebuilding path. Brought them here. Stronger. Lessons etched. Not just uncovering lies. Finding strength in truth. No matter how painful. Room quiet. Not empty silence. Presence. Love. Last sunlight dipped below horizon. Robert, small, contented smile. Survived storm. Found something unshakable. New beginning. No one could take away. Shadows of former grandeur. Victor Rossi, Sarah, diminished lives, ambitions, deceit dismantled. Victor, low-profile cases, dimly lit offices, reputation tarnished, clients whispered, colleagues avoided. Name, bitter reminder. Sarah, no law license, paralegal, small firm, designer suits gone, prestigious clients gone, aura of success gone, organizing files, drafting documents, never argue cases, lavish lifestyle, quiet mediocrity. Stark contrast imagined life with Victor. Sting of fall, not just professional, personal, no access to Harding children, grown, determined, independent. Sarah's attempts to reconnect met polite, firm rejection. Constant reminder, squandered trust. One evening, Sophia, casual family dinner, brief encounter with Victor. Tried to talk tennis scholarships, steady, defiant voice. Told him, achievements my own, not his. Robert looked up. Pride. That's my girl. Warmly. Small smile. Michael smirked. Nudged Sophia. Should have charged him conversation. Laughter filled the room. Contrast to Sarah, Victor's silence. Robert reflected paths. No satisfaction in their struggles. Quiet resolve. Choices their own. Bore weight. Robert, Sophia, Michael. Life moved forward. Grounded in truth, resilience, unshakable bond. Integrity, not just virtue. Foundation of trust. Compass. Abandon it. Lost. Harding family battered, unbroken. Reclaimed lives. Ruins of betrayal behind. Building something stronger. Robert stood on stage. Applause washed over him. International Genetics Conference. Packed audience. Luminaries rising, honoring groundbreaking work. Revolutionary study genetic markers, healthcare implications. Accolades, pioneer reputation. Looked out over crowd. Thoughts drifted. Truth. Ultimate revenge. Blood never lies, even when people do. Betrayal. Unexpected path. Desperate search. Professional triumph. Pain. Purpose. Scars. Foundation of greatest achievement. Irony. Science exposed lies, reshaped future genetics. Later, packing papers. Left conference hall. Paused. Award in hand. Not just professional success, resilience. Devastation of betrayal turned into something enduring, meaningful. Home. Michael. Sophia waited, eager to hear. Robert walked in. Voices filled space with warmth, smiled. Truth fought for, future, foundation of honesty, trust, greatest triumph. Years later, Harding, household quieter. Echoes of laughter, accomplishment lingered. Sophia, Stanford genetics program, diving deep into science. Professors spoke of rising star. Passion, insight. Michael's tech career, momentum. Innovative algorithms, financial deception. Major firms' attention. 22 leading projects revolutionize cybersecurity. One evening, Robert, alone living room. Framed photos. Journey, Sophia holding lab coat. Michael presenting prototype. Smiled. Quiet pride. Truth may have broken us once. Set us free. Build something greater. Victor Rossi, discount grocery store aisles. Far cry luxurious wine cellars, 5-star restaurants. Tailored suits, off-rack blazers. Ill-fit clouds. Life lost. Clipping coupons. Crumpled newspaper. Hands trembled. Not age. Weight downfall. Flying coach. Rare trips. Modest apartment. Shadow of former self. Power. Charisma faded. Quiet bitterness. World moved on. Left behind. Regret. Memory squandered. Every corner diminished life. Betrayal. Cost him everything. No matter how far ran. Truth of choices always there. Waiting. Small stack unopened letters. Robert's desk. Curling edges. Weeks of neglect. Sarah's neat handwriting. Attempts to explain, justify, bridge chasm. Robert hadn't read one. One evening, Robert's study proposal. Michael wandered in. Hands pockets. Gaze fell letters. Flicker anger. She's still trying, huh? Nodding toward stack. Robert looked up briefly. Returned to work. She is. Michael paused. Steady, firm voice. Some betrayals don't deserve second chances. Robert leaned back. Eyes met Son's. No hesitation, no bitterness. Quiet resolution. Agreed. Letters untouched. Silent testament. Chapter firmly, irrevocably closed. Robert stood by window, soft smile. Watched Sophia's face light up video call. Describing genetics program breakthrough. Across room, Michael, laptop. Fingers flying. Finalizing algorithm. Major cybersecurity project. Air in-house. Quiet, undeniable sense of purpose. DNA test once threatened, unravel everything, given far more than answers. Stripped away lies. Revealed unshakable bond. Family forged, not shared blood, shared truth. Sunlight dipped below horizon. Robert exhaled deeply. Heart full, freedom, truth, greatest legacies, theirs to carry forward.